guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm so glad to have you here, and if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. Making the best choices that I can for myself and for my family in regards to the food that we eat, the quality of it, is really important to me, but it's also important for me not to go totally broke, because as we all know, these things can be quite expensive. Not always, but it can be quite spendy, especially if you just try and buy everything organic. So today I just wanted to talk about practically what I buy organic and what I buy conventional, and just the way I kind of think about things. And I'll also be sharing with you different tips on how to save money buying organic food and eating healthier as a family. I really hope that these things help you. If you appreciate this video and want more stuff like this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you can stick around for more content from me. And I have to give a shout out to my good friend Sarah from Happy Home Life. She just did a video about buying organic versus buying conventional products, and I really enjoyed that because she compared different organic product prices and conventional ones in her area, and I just really enjoyed seeing that in video form and just seeing what she found in her area too, and the price differences between different things, because sometimes the price difference is very minimal and other times it's so extreme. So I'll link that video down below so you can check it out when you're done watching this video. But I love Sarah and she has an awesome channel too. So okay, for starters, I can't not touch on the whole Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. If you have not heard of this, what the Dirty Dozen is the 12 most pesticide-ridden fruits and vegetables that are out there that we're encouraged to buy organic if possible. A lot of these are fruits and veggies that you eat the skin on, because if produce is sprayed with pesticides, if you're eating the skin, that's where a lot of the pesticides land. So I'll put the list on the screen, but I'm just going to read through it really quick in case you're not watching this video, because I know sometimes I'm just listening to videos and I hate when they put things on the screen and you don't know what they are. So really quick, the Dirty Dozen is strawberries, apples, nectarines, peaches, celery, grapes, cherries, spinach, tomatoes, sweet bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, and cucumbers. Two other things that did make the list but are still recommended to buy organic are leafy greens and hot peppers. So jumping off of that list, first off, I want to say that I like to buy organic when possible. I am practical when I look at prices, and generally if things are really expensive to buy organic, even if they're on that list, I will not always buy them because we simply cannot afford to buy everything organic. There is just a certain line for all of us in what we can afford. But something that I've heard people say is that people say they can't afford to buy organic, but then another train of thought is, well, I can't afford to have cancer and I can't afford to have heart disease or all these other problems. So I do appreciate this perspective that our health is an investment, and my husband and I luckily were on the same page with a lot of this, and we both really value buying organic, but we do not buy everything organic. I feel like we both kind of walk the line together on this, which I'm really grateful for, to be on the same page as him. So looking at the list, we try and buy our berries organic. My one big tip is buy organic frozen berries in bulk, and we do this as often as we can. We like to go to Costco, and Costco has such a great organic selection in bulk, and buying in bulk can save you so much money. It doesn't always save you a lot of money, but sometimes it can, and the value of the berries at Costco is so good. I mean, you can get just a huge bag of organic frozen blueberries or strawberries for about $10, which is a really good price, because sometimes just a container like this can cost you upwards of $5, and sometimes they're not even all good, or you get it right when it's going bad. And to spend $6 on a thing of organic blueberries that's already going south, that's just the most disappointing thing to me ever. But luckily when things are frozen, they're picked at their peak freshness and ripeness, so the quality tends to be really good, and they're already frozen, so you know they're going to be in your freezer and you're not going to forget to use them, and they won't be going bad on you. So we love incorporating organic berries into our diet that way. Sometimes we'll just defrost them and eat them that way. Sometimes we'll put them in pancakes or oatmeal. Oftentimes, especially during summer, we'll be using them a lot in smoothies, and it's just a great way to get those antioxidants, because berries are so healthy for you. They're full of antioxidants. Apples as well, we tend to get Trader Joe's in big bags, and oftentimes they have organic. My husband taught me the flicking test. I don't know if that's like an official apple testing thing, but you can kind of sense the density and crispness of an apple by flicking it. I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm flicking them, but I feel like it works pretty well. I feel like you're looking for like a nice tight bouncy apple. But I mentioned that because if you're buying apples in bulk, again, I'm not a fan of mealy apples or apples where the texture is bad. I really do not like that, especially when you're spending more on something. You want it to be a fruit that you're going to enjoy. So I spend a lot of time trying to pick out the best melons and veggies and just everything I can. I'm very attentive to the details on the fruits and veggies and smelling and feeling it. I could make a whole video on how to pick good ripe fruit. So my point is, Trader Joe's has a bunch of different bags of apples. Some of them are organic, some of them are not. Most times I will try to buy organic because there are so many pesticides on conventional apples. But if I buy a bag or two of the organic ones that they currently have and they're not good, I'm not going to buy it the third time. Like if I did not enjoy it and they're one of those things that did not get you in quickly because just the quality wasn't great, which this recently happened. I just bought, they have these ones called Jazz apples, and I just bought a few bags of those even though they weren't organic, because it's still better to eat fruits and veggies than not eat fruits and veggies at all. So I got the conventional ones and that's what we have been eating. So I guess my point is with that is I'm not going to spend more money on something that's going bad and not going to taste good just because it's organic. Fruit and veggies is something that I want to enjoy, and that kind of helps me narrow down what we'll be buying organic during a grocery trip. Also, if the price difference is minimal, I'll almost always go organic. For instance, at Trader Joe's, you can get a can of organic beans for I think probably 10 cents more than the conventional ones. So we often get beans organic, but it's mostly because the price difference is so minimal. I have not mastered cooking beans, but you can definitely save so much money by buying especially things like that, dry goods like beans and rice, in bulk organic, and you just prepare it yourself. So I definitely recommend doing that to save money. One other thing that I really try and buy organic is the green veggies that we're going to be eating through the week, because those are the most nutrient dense things. And if I'm eating broccoli or chard or leafy greens, I want to be getting the most nutrients out of them. So it's not a hard and fast rule to stick to, but I'll almost always buy whatever greens that we'll be eating organic. And just another tip to save money on buying produce organic is buy what's in season. For instance, we're just getting out of winter, but if you're going to try and buy berries or melons or all these other things that aren't in season during the winter, it's going to be so much more expensive, especially if you're trying to buy organic. But in the summer, when there's an excess of these things, the prices go down and it's a lot more affordable to buy them organic. For instance, for winter, we eat a lot of apples, oranges, and bananas, which are really cheap during the winter. And then we had our frozen berries too that we would use in smoothies and whatnot. But in terms of the fresh fruit that we're snacking on, it was the apples, oranges, and bananas. Another thing that keeps our costs down is we'll eat the same veggie throughout the whole week. Especially if we've made a Costco trip, I can get a huge bag of zucchini, and there's so many different ways to prepare zucchini. So we'll just have that veggie in different dishes and prepare different ways for that week. And maybe it was $5 for that whole bag of zucchini, and then we'll try and mix it up the next week. Maybe we'll get asparagus or have more sauteed greens or some other sort of squash or something like that. But if you buy one organic veggie in bulk, you'll get it for a cheaper price. Your prep work will also be more simple because you're just cutting up the same sort of thing, and it will be a lot more cost effective. In terms of meat, we don't eat a ton of meat besides the fact that I've been pregnant and I'm supposed to be eating a lot of protein, so we have been buying more meat lately. But I try and buy organic. I just try and buy the cheaper cuts. Or sometimes I'll buy a whole chicken because that's cheaper and just cook that in the oven and use that. Or there are ways to make things stretch too. Like we've been having tacos this week. So I cooked up a bunch of chicken breast and just shredded it in the crock pot. And we had some of that last night in this pesto pasta. And the rest of it tonight I'm going to mix with taco seasoning, and we're going to have tacos. And I'm going to be heating up a lot of beans as well. So that's going to be an additional protein source in the tacos, so that we'll have to use less of the chicken. So alongside the Dirty Dozen is something that's called the Clean 15, and these are 15 foods that have way less pesticides on them that are safer to eat if they are just conventional. A lot of these you do not eat the skin on, so that's something that is definitely helpful to keep in mind, is knowing that if you're not eating the skin, it's not as important to get organic. For instance, different citrus fruits or anything that you peel or have to shave the skin off of. So here is the Clean 15. Number 1, sweet corn, avocados, pineapples, cabbage, onions, sweet peas, it says frozen, papayas, asparagus, mangoes, eggplant, honeydew melon, kiwi, cantaloupe, cauliflower, and grapefruit. So those are things that are less important to buy organic, which it's so nice to have a list like that of things that you don't feel that weight or pressure to buy organic. So definitely keep those in mind to save yourself some money and focus on trying to buy the other things organic if possible. One other thing that we almost always buy organic is potatoes. That was one that was on the Dirty Dozen, but after a while you really develop a taste and can taste the difference between these things. So I can taste the difference and the texture and just overall richness of a potato so much. And a potato is a root vegetable, so it's in the soil and really absorbing whatever is in the soil. So we eat a lot of potatoes, especially because we're mostly gluten-free. So I buy them in bulk at Trader Joe's or at Costco. They carry organic potatoes. I love Trader Joe's because they have so many different variety of potatoes in bulk that you can buy organic. They have russet, gold potatoes, sweet potatoes, a bunch of different potatoes that you can get organic. In terms of all the other categories of food, like pre-packaged foods and stuff like that, I'm not as crazy about buying organic. If they are organic, it's a plus, but we kind of just have to draw the line somewhere. Most of the time, I'm pretty much just comparing price and going with my gut if I feel like it's worth it. So I don't know, that's what we do. We mix it up, and I feel like sometimes we're more in the organic mode and other times we're more in the saving money mode. but this is what works for us and I feel good about it. I feel good about the choices we're making for our family, and I just know we're doing the best we can with the knowledge and the finances we have been given. So just to wrap up, I just want to encourage you to not get freaked out about everything, the whole organic pesticide stuff. I think it's awesome if you think this stuff is important and you're trying to make better choices for your family. There's so many statistics out there of the yucky things that are on our food, especially here in America, and I know it can be really overwhelming, but I just want to say, don't get overwhelmed, don't get fearful about everything. Just take the information you have and make the best choices that you can, and even the small choices we're making are good and going to benefit our families. I love you guys all so much. I appreciate you watching to the end. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys all have a beautiful day because you are absolutely worth it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!